Hello, this is Kim with Crochet with Kim. I am so happy to be with you once again. I just completed the coaster or placemat. Actually, I wanted to call it my fall mat. My fall mat, which you can use for a cereal bowl, or you can use for desserts, or just whatever. And I haven't had a chance to clean it up just yet because I just finished it. But I thought that I would do a quick uh, recording for a coaster, not very big, something very, very simple. And I thought, well, why not just go ahead and record as I do this. So I decided that I'm still going to use the same colors, the burnt Sierra, the golden, the antique gold, I'm sorry, and then the forest color. And I'm just going to put those three together, seeing how that I already have a lot of the spunky yarn that's in the mat. I'm just going to use the three colors that did not have the opportunity to shine. And I'm going to begin with this forest green, and I'm going to chain up I'm going to chain up 5, and I'm going to do a double crochet instead of a half double crochet. So I'm going to do a double crochet. And there is my first double crochet, my second double crochet, and my third double crochet. And it's always a little more difficult when you first begin a project, but as you go along it gets a little bit easier, especially when you're trying to pull it through those two that V in the starting chain, that very first chain of your project. So I'm going to chain 5. Now with most they like to chain 6 with a double crochet, but I like to chain 5 because I have a little tighter knit for me. I like that tighter knit. So this is my second one. This is like row 2. So we'll go ahead and we're going to do that too. The second block, double crochet. Now I'm going to pull it through the first one, but not the second one, because I'm going to switch out and use gold next. So I'm just going to pull that straight through. You don't really need a stitch marker for this. If you want to, this is the side that you would put the stitch marker in, but for me, I'm not really going to need a stitch marker. So we have 4 and 5. I'll go back to that third chain from the hook and do my double crochet, pull through 2 and pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through that chain, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then go in one more time, making sure you get that V on your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then what we're going to do, we're going to pull that green yarn just a little tight, just to make sure that it's in there good and that gold has a strong hold. And so we'll go ahead and we'll keep going. Oops. Let me make sure we get these strings. do 1, 2. This is my third double crochet, and this is my fourth double crochet. And then we'll go ahead and slip stitch through. And count up 3, our first double crochet, a second double crochet, and a third double crochet. And then we'll count up the 5, 4 and 5, and then we will go in the third stitch from the hook, and then we'll have our first double crochet, our second double crochet, and our third double crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch, and I just thought, hey, I want to do a coaster to go along with this, so I'll just go ahead and record that real quick. I'm not going to make it very big, just big enough for a cup. Now we'll slip stitch, I'll chain my 3, and then we're going to change colors again. This is our fourth one. We'll just pull it through the first 2. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to snip the green, and I'm going to pick up this burnt Sierra. And I'll go ahead and pull that through both loops, and then chain 5. We're going to continue on, counting from the 3rd stitch from the hook, 4th stitch, and then the 5th stitch. Pulling on the yarn a little bit to kind of give it a little snug, a little pull. And then we'll go ahead and with our Sierra, burnt Sierra, and we're going to count up 3. I want that a little bit tighter. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to put it underneath that post. Count 1, 2, 3. Now this is my center color, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my 2 for this side, this side of the main strip. Let's get a little bit more yarn here. Go ahead and cut my gold. Pull that out of the way. Then we have 1, 2, and 3. One, 2, 3, and 4. That's our first row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go to the third stitch from the hook. First stitch from the hook, and then the fifth stitch from the hook. And turn this work, and then we'll go right on into that post. And post. Count 3. I'll get in the habit of counting 2. I gotta make sure I don't do that. One, 2, 3. Now I have completed 2 of the green, 2 gold. I'm getting ready to finish up my 2 for the Sahara, the burnt Sahara. Oops, one more double crochet here. Then 1, 2, and 3. Go right in that hook, that post with your hook. And there's your 4th one right there. I've done slip stitch. Because the burnt Sahara was the one that was only used, well, the green and the burnt Sahara, well, all 3 of them was only used like twice, or 3 times in each row, but twice in the mat. I'm thinking that maybe what I can do is do 2 green, and then a 3rd green, and then 2 green on the other side, making the green the majority color, or the main color. And I think that's what I might do. Yeah, to kind of break it up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to take that, and I just do this sometime on the fly. I never know how exactly I want it until I actually take a look at the work and work on it. So you are actually witnessing me doing something just by thought. In other words, I didn't have a pattern for it. I didn't have it written down. It just came to mind. So we're going to do the 5 and 3rd stitch from the hook. my second double crochet, my third double crochet, and my fourth double crochet. I'll wait to get it under both of them if I can with that V. Okay, pull that a little bit, and we'll go ahead and do our first two green. And that right into that post, that red, and slip stitch, crochet, two, three, parallel, slip stitch, two, three, now something I'm trying to think it out how I'm wanting to do this. Again, this is strictly on thought. No pattern, no sketch out, no anything. I'm just crocheting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to increase one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we have the second row. We're getting ready to start. Go right into that post from the row below. Two, three. Yes. And remember when I explained to you when we was working on the placemat that in the center you'll always need like an odd number. to balance out the whole project of rows, meaning that you'll have to have a side, like if you were starting with threes and you was working threes, or even if you did like a 2-3 2-3 2, that 3 or that 2 would be the last of that sequence, but always in the middle you have to have that same pattern on the other side. So if you stop with 2, then you need 2 on the other side, and with that 2 being on the other side, that center row would be that odd number. So that would be 5. If you stopped at 3 and you have 3 on one side and 3 on the other, then the odd number will be 7. So always remember, we need that odd number count in the middle of that section, where it's either 3 on one side and 3 on another, or 2 on one side and 2 on another, to be the equivalent of an odd number of count for that same pattern, or that same color, I should say. Okay, so I'm getting ready to show you what exactly I mean. Now, so far, this is what we have: 2 of the forest green, 2 of the antique gold, 2 of the burnt Sierra. Now we have 2 of the forest green, but in this case, instead of doing 2 2 through and then the middle one and then 2 2, which make it 5, I'm going to stick with the number 3. So I'm actually going to decrease here. Now we have 2 4 6 and 8, so we have 8 blocks. So this is where I'm going to start my decrease, because I think that that would be a pretty good size coaster. Actually, it'll be a pretty good size, especially you put a big cup on it, and it will have plenty of room. So we will go ahead and we will downsize or decrease at this point. So when we decrease, of course, we'll start slip stitching along the side, and then we'll start our decrease. So we have 8, so this row will be 7. We'll pull that through that post, count down, and we are slowly starting our decrease. Now I can go ahead and set aside, even though I'm getting ready to use it again, so we won't be dragging it along. So there's our focal point. Our primary color will be green in this particular coaster. So we'll continue on. And we got have a decrease. So instead of pulling through the green, we're going to pull through this Sierra. We'll go ahead and pull that through. Oops. No, I keep doing that to myself. I'm not increasing. Learning on the, doing it on the fly. Okay. I'm doing the wrong side of it to do that with. I gotta do it on this side. So we'll go ahead and we're going to slip stitch. Now this will be considered like the top of the work, or the top of the coaster. Now I'm ready for this. And we'll do 2 the burnt sienna. Go ahead and chain up 3. Kind of give that a little pull. I'll just work over some of the green yarn as well as the Sierra. Giving my work a little bit more support. Yeah. I'll go ahead and finish. Remember, we're going backwards, so we're doing the mirror effect of the coaster. So now this should be 6. Pull out a little bit more yarn. One up to 1, 2, 3, and the fibers of my spunky yarn. We want to make sure that we have coasters to match. That's 1, 2, and 3. Then we'll go ahead and finish up. And we'll put slip stitch there and turn our work. Now that we've made it to the end, I'll go ahead and snip that off. Now bring this back over this way. fibers are liking me today. And this is our second. Burnt Sierra. Second row. And we'll just move right along. We'll go ahead and go to our next block. Go ahead and put that through there. Then countdown is a little faster on these smaller projects. Go ahead and get this. Put a little bit more yarn. Then we'll work our last block on this row. That will make this 5. We'll slip stitch on the end here, turn our work, bring this over. And we can slip stitch, slip stitch, and slip stitch. Then we'll stick that right on in there. Put our hook right in underneath that post. And we'll go ahead and just go ahead. Lay that over there. Pull that on through. And chain 3. And then I will just work right over the yarn, the working yarn of the Sahara, the burnt Sahara, and then working over the tail of the antique gold. Kind of give those a little pull, but I don't want to pull too tight, taken away from the border. And we'll do 2 rows of this gold. 2 and 3. Then you work in that post right there. Chain up 1, 2, and 3. You should have 4 blocks for this particular row. 1, 2, and 3. slip stitch. And that is actually turning out very, very pretty. Okay, we'll do our next row. Pull this over this way. This will have 3 blocks on this row. Slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll just keep working right along, right underneath that post, and we'll just need 3. So 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Then we'll slip stitch. We'll chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll go right underneath that. This is where I started. Gotta make sure I don't pull that yarn too tight, or it will be hard to get under that post. So we'll slip stitch. We'll work our way up. 1, 2, and 3. Gotta make sure we don't get them strands pulled through. Okay, we'll go under that post and pull this back. And now we're going to finish up with our forest green. Lay that there. Pull it through. And then I'll chain my 3. And continue on with the pattern, making sure that we have 4 double crochets in each box. At this point we only will need 2 evergreens. Not here I go again. Not evergreen. Forest green. Forest green. I have to get me some evergreen. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull this forest green through, continuing up. This is 2, and we'll turn our work. I'll go ahead and I will cut. And I'll bring this around the hook this way. And we just need 1 forest green. I'll go ahead and slip stitch all the way up. I'll chain 3 and do 1 block. That's all I need to finish up this project. I'll go ahead and slip stitch one more time. And I'm going to try to work it like right into the stitch. There we go. Alright, and I will clip that off, pull that through, and voila. I actually have the strings just all over the place. But I'm going to bring it through with my hook. I'm going to actually clean all of this up, but I wanted to do this because while I was getting ready to shut down everything for the night, and because I just finished the mat, and I said, oh, I'm getting ready to do the coaster. Let me see. And it just dawned on me, why don't I just do the coaster while I have everything set up? It'll be pretty quick. And as you can see, it is a very quick project, very simple project, and all you need to have is a plan of what you want to do. Now, as far as the mat is concerned, the placemat, I call it like my dessert mat. I'll move all of this up out of the way, and so it may have a little contrast, but sometimes contrast is great. It is very, very great because that gives the illusion that you have two different things going on, but it's still the same pattern, maybe in a different stitch, and it also gives you that contrast with that spunky color. It kind of just like okay, it matches and it's different, but you don't have to necessarily use it. I can make a solid burnt Sierra or a solid green or gold, or I can make a solid spunky. But in any event, you can interchange it. And I just thought, oh, this will be really cute. I'm just like different like that. I don't know. I guess I'm trying to stop being afraid of using colors to make it always match, because sometimes always matching, you might not always want to do that. You might want to have a little contrast, and so I figured this would be a great contrast. I am going to use the spunky and probably one of the other colors, and maybe just do that, and then I might just do two colors, like maybe the Sierra and the gold together, or the green and gold together. So I'll do different combinations to see which one matches actually the best with this placemat. But anyway, it's an idea that just came to mind, and I just thought to share it with you. But I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoy making these coasters as well as the placemat. For until next time, I hope that you had a wonderful time with me, and do come again. I really do appreciate the company. For right now, this is Kim with Crochet with Kim. Bye bye.